Hello, my name is Matthew Jennings, and I am currently conducting this video presentation will be about my marketing analytics final exam. I'll be asked 5 questions. I have to answer at least a minute long, and let's begin. What can be gained in marketing by using gaming analytics? So, first off, you can collect data in games that data can be used to make marketing decisions. So let's say I play a lot of sports games, like I play FIFA, Madden, NBA Live. They use those that they know that I'm interested in sports. So when I go into the Xbox Play, what else do they advertise other than more marketing other than marketing more sports games? They would also advertise services like other services out on the Xbox, like NFL Sunday Ticket, or any streaming services that stream those games live. They can also use this to collect data about what you do inside the games that can also be used to make marketing to you products and services outside that have nothing to do with the game. So let's use FIFA as an example. Let's say um, there's different teams. FIFA is a soccer game. There's a bunch of all the most popular teams, most of them except for Juventus, are on the game. So let's say that they've noticed a spike in the amount of Chelsea football team um, usage. And the amount of people that use the team Chelsea has increased in FIFA. So if they notice that, they'll say, hold on, this team is getting more popular. And then they may use that data to see, okay, our Chelsea game is becoming more popular outside. So they also look into how who watches the Chelsea games, and they use all that data from the games and from all that to determine if Chelsea is becoming a more popular team or not. All these teams, they collect data on this to make sure that players are playing their team because they want people to play in your team, because that's increase in brand recognition and increase in everything else they sell. Short sales, game day tickets, other products that are associated with the games out there. They can use the licensing and brand to sell with, like Chelsea Cups or anything. So that's question number one. Question number two. This is multiple questions in one. Why are people concerned about big tech companies like Google, Facebook, Verizon? Why are they concerned about them collecting data on them? Well, they're so concerned about one is this thing called right to privacy. You know, People are concerned that the right to privacy is being taken away from them by these big and powerful social media, not just social media, but tech companies. It's not just social media, because social media is the main one because they use the posts that you voluntarily put in there. Not just that, you put in your race, ethnicity, gender, age. They use that, and they also see what kind of they use that data, and they track down who you follow, what pages you like, what posts you like, and they determine what to advertise to you. People are concerned that they're taking this a step too far, and also giving this to the government, giving this data to the government to help politicians sway you, the voter, and make campaign promises that will never fully be made. It's not just and people's privacy. People have, especially Americans, are very insecure about their privacy. So, but this is actually, I think there is one question is this positive to our society? This does have a positive aspect to society, because let's say you're going to a trip to Miami for the weekend. It doesn't matter where you live in the U.S. You just decide to go to Miami for the weekend. So you take the trip down there. You put down Google Maps, the GPS service. Send me to South Beach. Now, let's say you live 4 hours away, and you're gonna get hungry in no time. Google can they can use the data they collected on you to be full, and they can use that to determine, and it can McDonald's. Let's say you usually stop at McDonald's to buy a Big Mac, medium Big Mac meal, medium fries, medium Coke, and they sent McDonald's can use that previous. They can see that you're going down to Miami, and they say, okay, this guy likes is typically stops within 2 hours of driving. They're probably gonna stop. This is the halfway point. They're probably gonna stop here, and what they usually order is a Big Mac, medium meal with a Coke. So they're gonna prepare all that before you even get there. So by the time you're there, all the food's already made for you, or it's made right before you get there, so it can be as fresh as possible. And it's so they use this data to help market to you, the consumer, better. That's the positive aspect of this. It's easier for companies to market. And how do you think these big tech? The last question is, how do I think these big tech companies should communicate this in a more positive sense to society? How is this positive to society? How should they communicate? For one, they should say this data is only being sold to companies that we trust, organizations that we trust, and that will not have any harm on you. And this is to better, like I said, to better improve your life standard, to improve your quality of life. This will help improve your quality of life. That's helping target, because marketing, a lot of marketing is just trying to find a need that nobody else knows that they need. So they can use this to help determine what do you need that you didn't even know that you needed. Question number 3. How can AI, artificial intelligence, can be used to make better marketing decisions? So what artificial intelligence does, it collects big data and turns that into algorithms. These algorithms help determine what are the best, they help determine stuff like information like who to market to, what products to market to them, and they create profiles for people using that data they collected, the computer collected, to help determine what's best for you. Just like the question I just answered, a lot of this is artificial intelligence. Like for Google, nobody is tracking down, nobody is on the phone looking at you, watching you drive. It's the computer that tracks down your movement. And so purchase decisions like you going to McDonald's or anything else is all tracked by the computer and by the phone and everything that is capable of recording data. And they use this to make algorithms to market to you. And also, you have to also remember that a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of content can be created through artificial intelligence. Like Fox, for example, and NBC, they actually make a lot of articles just by using keywords that a lot of people are interested in, and a lot of content is created by the computer, and they determine what are the most popular words and what can get the most clicks on, and how they can increase their search bar optimization. They use that to help increase where their position on the search page. This artificial intelligence, all that can help in determining where you are in that Google search page. And the top, no one goes. There's multiple pages to a Google search. Nobody usually goes to the second page, and it's usually the first couple options, 1 through 10, that are selected the most. People don't like scrolling down to the bottom, even though there might be great content down there, but people like to see. People don't have the patience for that anymore. You have short-term memory. So, the question number 4: explain your rationales for setting up a social media listening center. How can this help your organization? Is there any real benefit? Of course, there's benefit. Um, what is a social media listening center? So imagine you're in your office and you're looking at this screen, full of, all these screens are all your websites, social media pages, and all this does is they track down what are people saying about you, your brand, your organization, etc. So let's say the Oscars, the Oscars, let's say, what are people talking about 10 days before the Oscars? Who are they talking about? You know, what and who are people? So people who won the Oscars can determine what to put out there by seeing what are people talking about during it, and what they anticipate during the Oscars. And you can also use this example for public relations. You know, who are, let's say you want the a hotel, big hotel company, and you constantly monitoring all these screens about all your pages and your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even Snapchat. And let's say something pops up. They say this is real. You know what is happening. There might be a sexual assault scandal somewhere. There's in one of your hotels. People start expanding, and you see that your hotel, let's say the Holiday Inn, people talk about the Holiday Inn as, they're accepting sexual assault. So the longer you wait to address this as a company, the worse the damage will be. So social media listening center, it you can determine this kind of problematic stuff before it becomes a real issue. And time is of the essence. We want to determine this kind of stuff before it becomes too big of a deal. Question number 5. Discuss how marketing analytics can be used to give a company better return on investment. So for one, you can better target the customers who are most likely to buy your product. So you don't want to spend your money on everyone, because not everyone's going to buy your product. Not everyone needs your product. So using marketing analytics, you can decide who needs your not only who needs your product, but who is most likely to buy your product. One demographic people might be 20% most likely to buy your product, and the other might be 50% likely to buy a product. Who are you going to market to? Obviously the one that's 50%, the one that gives you the best chance on return on investment. You don't want to spend any money on a group of people that aren't going to buy your product. You're going to spend all your money on marketing and making it accessible to the people and to the place. It's not just people, it's what areas of the country are most likely to buy your product, stuff like that. College towns, what are the best, you might want to sell more school supplies in a college town like Lake Wales and Babson Park, because they have two colleges in those two cities. So having a Walmart there, they may want to, using analytics, they're going to determine they may need more school supplies to determine, what are the needs of the people, and that's what analytics can help you get. It can also be used to predict compliments. Now, some compliments are pretty obvious, like shoes and socks. Every time someone buys a shoe, they're more likely to buy socks to go with it, because they complement each other. Chips and dip, But there might be there are some compliments that people don't even know about. The marketers may not know about until they track this stuff down using marketing analytics. Like Jimmy John's, for example, company I work for, Jimmy John's, they determined one of their new products is Kickin' Ranch. They determined that, they determined that Kickin' Ranch would help increase sales because they realized, they didn't know this before, but ranch is actually a great complement to not only sandwiches but to pizza and other kinds of foods. So this Kickin' Ranch comes in a little bottle. It only costs 52 cents, and you just get it. It costs next to nothing, and a lot of people go buy Jimmy John's and buy our sandwiches over Subway just because we also have the Kickin' Ranch. I mean, someone can go to the store and buy ranch, but if you want to go, you're not gonna stop at Walmart. You're gonna go through the drive-through, buy that Kickin' Ranch with the chips, or whatever you want to. We also sell pickles. A lot of people like the Kickin' Ranch for pickles, and so using marketing analytics, Jimmy John's actually determined that Kickin' Ranch, by tracking what people say, that Kickin' Ranch is a good complement to other products that they sell. So that's my last question for this final exam. Thank you for tuning in. Have a safe summer.